that time of the week right now. We get visited by our dear friend, Safety Ty. So Ty's
Safety
just
guy. Oh, wow.
Safety Ty's back.
Wow.
Hey, Safety Ty, how are you?
Yeah.
What have you got for us this week, buddy?
Yeah, I'm not a roller today, so I had to work with that. All right. So this week we've got a little bit of an entertaining dummy of the week, I think is a good way to put it. It's a little bit of a giggle, but it does obviously address a few things that are completely wrong, obviously. Bringing this up now. Hold on.
Well, looking in the mirror.
Ruin the end of it there, but cool.
If only had a Red Bull hat.
What are you trying to say, Danny? All right. So as you can see, someone's taken a drone to a zoo and they're flying near the chimpanzee enclosure. And that chimpanzee was not very happy, as you can see. He's also having a nice little look at what's been flying around and annoying him. And getting a much closer view of the chimpanzee here. And then I think he turns around and, hey, there's a nice chimp selfie.
And
That's the
how,
thumbnail, I guess.
Yeah.
That's definitely the thumbnail.
I'll give it one more. I'll give it one more run through, so we can have a bit more of a chat about it, and you guys can have a bit of a look. And obviously, folks at home that are actually watching visually. For the folks not watching visually, I'll give it a little bit of a breakdown. You have the pilot flying. Essentially, if you've been to a zoo, you would have seen monkey enclosures where they're in the middle of essentially a moat on a little island. And this drone pilot flew in to have a better look at the chimpanzees, got a little bit close, and one of the chimpanzees wasn't very happy and essentially beat the drone out of the sky with a stick. And then decided to investigate the drone closer, and eventually it ends up with him essentially taking a selfie of himself. So break it down, guys. What have you got to say about that one?
I've been to a few zoos and most of them have signs saying no drones.
I was going to say the pre-flight probably wasn't very detailed.
No, definitely not.
I'd say there wasn't one.
That was the definition. That was the definition of.
And look, yeah. Look, and this is something that I'm passionate about as well. The whole wildlife and drones. Again, it applies. You need to stay clear of them. You need to be 30 meters clear. In some cases, a lot greater distances depending on the animal. But I go back to them a lot because animals react differently around drones. Look, anyone who's a pilot has dogs. I guarantee you've seen it.
Yep.
One of my dogs actually decided to try and take my DJI Spark out of the air at our old house. She didn't get there, but she got very close. But in the day she grabbed it, she would have copped a blade in the mouth, and it wouldn't have been a pretty sight for me. An expensive built vet. But yeah, and look, it's for their safety. It's exactly what it's for. It's for their safety. All the rules that are in place, and not even just for wildlife, are for safety. So, but yeah, I could go on for hours about wildlife and drones, and I'm going to save that for a whole episode on it because I really would rip through some Insta pilots. So we'll just leave that one alone for now.
Is that a warning, Ty? Is that a warning? Are we just preparing?
Oh
people
yeah,
on
the
Instagram,
day we get to that, I'm going to rip some new ones.
Oh, that's gonna be an episode. I'm gonna have to sit out, guys. Not associated with.
Don't let me go through your profile first, Danny, and then see what I can find.
Second,
and I get added to my list.
What up? Block. How many accounts have you got? Blocked. I keep all mine above board on there at least, because yet again, once it's on the internet, it's everywhere. It can be held against you as legal.
Yeah, exactly.
There's only so many times you can say I've found
exactly.
it.
Is there anything else you? Yeah, well, that's it. Is there anything else you guys want to sort of add into that? I mean, there's a lot there you can break down if you really want to. So
don't be a monkey.
Well, I think you said it really well. That 30-meter exclusion, that clearly, if you kind of practice the basics that we talked about at the start, you're going to end up in that scenario with an expensive drone destroyed, probably. So
I'd be really interested to see if it was actually a worker that's done that, or if it was a public.
right.
I reckon that's a 50-50 because I have not necessarily in Australia, but when I've been overseas, I have seen some people do some really, really stupid shit in zoos. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was an actual paying customer to the zoo, but it very well also could have been someone working at the zoo, and they might have actually had a reason for doing so. But if they were doing it for work at the zoo and they did have a reason for doing so, they did not do it properly and they did not do it safely. So it makes it not cool.
At least the monkey was smart enough to not try and grab it himself. He used a stick, like probably smarter than the pilot in that sense.
Yeah. Well, chimpanzees are quite intelligent, so
yeah,
I'm sure there's some people that probably sit below the IQ spectrum of a chimpanzee. But yeah, look, it's end of the day. At least I can appreciate that he picked it up and had a bit of a look and realized it was a camera and got himself a selfie at the end of it, which I think's golden. But yeah, look, it's definitely unsafe.
I reckon that's thumbnail material.